Hi, this is Amina Sheikh here on Zoom channel, and with me today I have the voice behind the man who is roaring high at the box office. So join me as I welcome Shreyas Talpade only on Zoom.
Namaste. How are you, Samina? So
Namaste,
good to
I'm
see you.
good. Good to see you too after such a long time. And when I was actually watching Pushpa 2, back in my head, it was like, Shreyas Talpade is talking. He's talking. This is his dialogue. This is what he's saying. And, of course, I watched in Hindi. So I was like constantly like, Acha, ye aise way mein bol rahe hain. So I want to know from you, I got very curious to know, were you also enacting while saying such dialogues? Were you like imagining when you were saying such dialogues?
See, to be very honest, I imagine myself on screen and then I dub. Uh,
Okay. Hmm.
because without that, I am not able to do it. I don't know any other way of doing it because I have
Uh-huh.
dubbed only my own films apart from Lion King, and this is
Hmm.
the only other character that I've dubbed for. So when
Huh.
I was dubbing him, yes, I was
Hmm.
imagining myself to be there on screen performing all of those things, and then I
Okay.
was
Hmm.
so yeah, that's how the process is for me.
Yeah, and as the movie is making noise at the box office, like it's already crossed like 700 crores. And even the first one, when
Yeah,
it released, that time also, we were going through a phase which was not that, I mean, like, of course, like it was lockdown coming into picture and we had
yeah,
gone through ups and downs to now, after
yeah.
4 years of this movie releasing and again, like 700 crores is a massive number. In fact, it's more than that, not lesser than that. How does it
Yeah.
make you feel about it?
Well, definitely feels great, to be associated with a film that is creating some new records, and the way people were waiting for it, the way they were expecting something extraordinary out of Pushpa 2, and now that they are getting it, and
Hmm.
the way they are reacting to the whole thing is quite fabulous, and in the whole bargain, the amount of love that they're showering on me as well, is just phenomenal. It's so overwhelming that I cannot tell you what I feel right now. But like I keep saying, I've done a number of films as an actor. Yes, some of them have been blockbusters, some of them have been critically acclaimed. A lot of praise, a lot of love for my acting work. But the amount of love that I'm getting for dubbing a particular film like Pushpa is just
Hmm.
phenomenal. There's a lot of gratitude for this one, without
Shreyas,
a doubt.
if I may ask, is this your first movie which you are basically like, doing, a voiceover for someone else?
So there's one more film that I did before Pushpa. That
Hmm.
was Lion King. Uh,
Okay.
that was in 2019, maybe. I don't
Hmm.
remember the exact. I don't remember
Hmm.
the exact year for that
Hmm.
one. But Lion, I played Timon in the Lion King. I dubbed for Timon rather. That was technically
Okay.
my first film, to dub. And after that, Pushpa happened. And as as coincidence or luck would have it, I have dubbed for both these films in this year, and they're releasing one after the other. So Pushpa released, and on 20th you have Mufasa releasing, which also has me playing Timon one more time. So
Okay.
it's a very
Yeah.
strange but a very positive coincidence. But yeah, Pushpa technically was my second film to be
Hmm.
dubbed or voicing.
And as we come to Lion King, of course, because the strange coincidence is also that it has Mufasa, it has Simba, it has the entire aura of, Shah Rukh and Aryan also being a part of this one, if I'm not wrong. And you have worked with
Yeah,
him in your,
yeah,
when you worked in Om Shanti Om. So how the
yeah.
journey, has changed, like, how things have been for you.
Well, no complaints whatsoever. It has been pretty great. As far as Mufasa is concerned, like you very rightly said, first I worked with Shah Rukh in Om Shanti Om. Then in Lion King, I worked with one son. And
Hmm.
now in Mufasa, it's both the sons.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a very happy feeling. One, of course, to be associated with a project like Mufasa and the Lion King. Uh,
Hmm.
it's 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 beautiful. The way they've created the entire thing, the whole animation is just
Hmm.
outstanding. And then there comes a film like Pushpa, which is technically completely the opposite. Uh, your voice is being used for that and appreciated and things like that. So I think the journey has been pretty great. I have in my career done things which felt right to me at that point in time. I've always tried to follow my gut. I have never really tried to intellectualize too much about things.
Mm.
If I felt that I want to be a part of a particular project, I've gone ahead and done that. Sometimes
Yes.
things have worked, sometimes not. Sometimes it is TV, sometimes it is, for OTT platform, whatever, and mostly films. But I have done what I felt right at that point in time. And Pushpa
Mm.
being one such experiment, which worked tremendously.
How was it watching Pushpa 2 after giving a voiceover for the movie? Have you watched the movie yet?
Okay, don't kill me for this, but no, I saw it. I
Okay.
saw the uncut version when I started dubbing for it, but I haven't seen
Oh.
the final one yet. I've been shooting actually almost every day.
Mm.
My family though went and saw it. My wife, my mom, they went and saw it, and my mom got really emotional about the whole thing. So yeah, she got teary eyed while watching it. There were instances when she told me that I would just shut my eyes, not see the
Mm.
visuals, and just keep hearing your voice. So
Oh,
that for
that's nice.
me, I think it's one of the best reactions that I've ever received in my life. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I will go and watch it maybe on Sunday.
And your wife and kids have watched it? Like any reactions from their end?
My wife was super thrilled, in fact, when she saw the promo, when she
Huh.
saw the trailer. Of course, she's seen the first part. And when she saw the trailer for the second part, she said, "You've done something different here." And I said, "What do
Mm.
you mean?" She said, "No, I mean your voice in the first part and the second part. There's a certain level of more authority in that." I said, "Yeah, because that was Pushpa's rise, and this is Pushpa's rule. So there has to be a different dimension to the character." She said, "Wow,
Mm.
if I can make it out from the sound, I'm sure the visuals are going to be, fantabulous." She loved it. She loved every moment of
Mm.
it, and my daughter, of course, hasn't seen it because I don't know if I should really take her to a film like Pushpa, but she keeps hearing these dialogues day in day out. So
Yeah.
when she was a kiddo, when Pushpa one released, she was still younger, and she would
Yeah.
try to imitate me and Jhukega Nahi Saala, and that is what she used to say.
Oh, so
But
sweet.
yeah, now of course
Mm.
she can say it properly, but she hasn't
Yeah.
seen the film yet.
But also, did you meet Allu Arjun personally because you were getting into the personality of his character? No, you have not
No,
met and you have just like done the dubbing completely.
I've never even spoken to him.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I mean, and then you like, then, doing this perfectionist kind of a role is a very difficult one. I must say that you literally got into the
No,
emotions of the character.
see, to be very honest, yes, it is difficult. As an art, it is difficult. But I feel you don't really have to meet the person to dub his part because you are dubbing the character. I wasn't dubbing Allu Arjun. I was dubbing Pushpa. So for
Yeah.
me, Pushpa was important. I wanted to feel Pushpa. I wanted to see Pushpa. I wanted to understand what was Pushpa was all about. And because I was part of his journey from the first part, I could
Yeah.
relate with the second part in a better manner. Because like I said, the first part was his rise to being the boss of the syndicate, and second
Mm.
part was his rule. So he was ruling. He had a more godlike stature this time.
Mm.
There was nothing that could beat him until there was a certain vulnerability that came along in the second half, and how he
Mm.
overcame that. So I think that was what was more important for me. And like I mentioned earlier, I see myself doing it, and that's how I then start dubbing for it.
Also, this movie, like, though you have not watched, there is one important message which is happening, throughout some movies, and which is completely coming concrete, even in, Varun Dhawan's film, or like right now, this one also. It's about women's safety, which they are trying to kind of highlight through the movies. And of late, we also see a lot of incidents taking place. But at the same time, while we are thinking about, I'm not trying to put you in a trap, while asking this question, but while we think about women's safety, there are incidents taking place for men's safety as well. What are your thoughts of what is currently happening, and what would you like to shed light on?
Things keep changing. Okay. And safety has been something which we've always been worried about, whether it is women or men. Obviously, like I said, with every passing time, your issues about safety keep changing. So while you feel safe about certain things, there are certain other things which make you feel unsafe. Like for example, as kids, we would just go wherever we wanted. We would take a bike on rent or cycle on rent and go cycling and things like that. Today, for me to do that with my kids becomes an issue, because you
Mm.
never know who are the people out there. In spite of the fact that, yeah, we have added security measures, but still there is that element of concern, which is there, and which you feel that probably there is some element which is not safe. So I need to protect
Mm.
my kids even more, you know.
Mm.
So that will keep happening. Whatever we do, there are going to be good people and there are going to be bad people. But the
Okay.
fact that the world is still running means that there are more good people than bad people on this planet, which is why the earth
Mm.
is still running. So I think I believe in that philosophy more than anything else. So yes, safety is a concern. Women's safety, obviously, more concerning. Uh, but also at the same time, we have exposure to so many other things which we weren't earlier. You know,
Yeah.
like the internet, and there are so many things on the net that are freely available. So obviously,
Yeah.
someone is going to get cuckooed in his mind about certain things. And how do we
Yeah.
tackle that? So there are going to be different issues about safety, and I guess we'll just keep tackling it one after the other.
Like, as you said, like on the internet also, like recently also, I saw this Instagram reel which is going viral, which I really felt it was below the belt. Probably people may feel like it's good sense of humor, or probably the Gen Z or millennial thing, but like say that entire joke of that, auntie, making some sounds and in talking, which is going viral right now on the internet. I feel that there should be something which should be, there should be hygiene control, which is not happening. Like even when you're on Instagram, I'm sure you get to see some cringeworthy content which is good for fun, but some which is really very bad, for kids to watch. What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like that social media decorum is going like out of the box completely?
There's no control. There's no control over it. And whatever we do, um, things will keep changing. Maybe some for good, some for worse. So
Mm.
it depends on every individual, how to prioritize your life and in what areas. So we
Mm.
will have to make sure that we put in those value system in our kids, जिसे हम
Mm.
संस्कार बोलते हैं ना, वो हमें ही करने पड़ेंगे बच्चों पे, कि भाई ये सारी चीजें जो है ये उतनी इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. ओके, ये सारी चीजें चलती रहेंगी, होती रहेंगी. आपके लाइफ में आपके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट क्या है, वो वैल्यूज क्या है, जो वो एथिक्स क्या है, वो मॉरल्स क्या है, जिससे हम बड़े हुए, वो इंटैक्ट रखना बहुत जरूरी है. Because otherwise,
Mm.
there are frivolous things happening, and people making money out of those frivolous things, and suddenly you start feeling, boss, I'm going wrong somewhere. But at the
Mm.
end of the day, when you give it some time, you will realize that that person who made quick money is nowhere today. Okay,
True.
he's vanished. And because you stuck to your whatever principles and a certain discipline and hygiene and decorum, you are still
Mm.
making some kind of money and making your life easier, happier in the whole bargain. So you just need to
Agree.
make them understand, and it'll only happen with time. It is something which unfortunately is not instant, like everything else is today, but it will have to
Yeah.
be with time that they realize.
And as you said that the privilege of sleeping peacefully comes with being ethical around how you're making money. I feel so. That's what
At the
my
end of
thoughts.
the day, at the end of the day, are you able to face yourself in the mirror without any guilt? Is what it boils down to. You know,
True.
you ask yourself this question: कि भाई मैं मिरर के सामने खड़ा हूँ, मेरे अंदर कोई गिल्ट है, अगर नहीं है तो मैं रात को सुकून से सो जाऊंगा, अगर है
Hmm.
तो आप कितना चाहे पैसा और दौलत कमा लो, आप सुकून से नहीं सो सकते. So that has been
That's
my funda, that I've been following all my life.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting funda. But as we also proceed further with the other fundas of your life, Shreyas, what is keeping you busy in terms of projects? I've been hearing that you're occupied with a lot of shoots right now, and we are waiting for a lot of announcements from your end also for that matter.
So there is, this is a pretty interesting phase, in fact, for me. I was just telling someone that my film, there's a sequence of thoughts
Mm.
in the kind of films that I'm working on right now. So I was saying, for example, if you look at Mufasa is a prequel. Okay, is a prequel to
Okay.
Lion King. So let's say Mufasa is -1. Then there
Mm.
is Emergency, which is part one. Then there is Pushpa part two. There is Welcome to the Jungle part three. There is
Yeah.
Baaghi part four. And there is
Oh,
Houseful
goodness.
part five. So
You're in
it's from
different parts. Sorry.
yeah. So
God.
that is what is happening, and that is what is keeping me busy right now.
Yeah.
Interestingly, some interesting projects, some good work with some good people.
Mm.
All my really huge thanks to all my producers and directors for really, really accommodating me and supporting me in this new phase of mine, where
Mm.
there have been certain limitations in terms of what all I can do, but they've
Mm.
been really cooperative. They keep checking on me if I'm okay doing a certain thing health wise.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then they will try to find out a way where I'm comfortable and I can do it in a better manner. And most of the time, touch wood, things turn up for the better. कि ये मैं अभी फिलहाल ये नहीं कर पाऊंगा. हाँ तो ठीक है,
Huh.
let's look for an option, and that option turns out to be better than what the original thought was. So I think I'm really
Wow.
happy to be working with some friends, and of course everybody is takes a lot of care on set, and that is something that I can never forget in my life.
And that reminds me that Baaghi 4 has some like amazing announcements taking place. Like today, also Harna's Kaur Sandhu has become a part of the movie, and Jackie Shroff is also part of the movie. Not Jackie Shroff, sorry, Sanjay Dutt is also part of the movie. And the poster looks quite like it's very haunting and violent completely, and it seems like on a different platform altogether. Tell us about
Yeah.
it. Like I have got very excited by looking at the poster.
I'm also very excited because one, the story is kick-ass. It is very engaging, very interesting. All the characters are fantastic.
Mm.
The director is absolutely wonderful. He is, of course, he is very well prepared, sharp, but at the same time, he will spoon feed an actor till the last expression that he wants. This is what I
Mm.
want. Um, Please do this. Thoda sa ye karna, thoda change karna. And he's very
Yeah.
fast. And at the same time, I think, the best part about Baaghi 4 is you will see Tiger like you've never seen him before. The kind of
Mm.
performance that he's given in this one, or rather he is
Mm.
giving in this, is quite phenomenal. So yeah, it's an exciting film. Especially after Houseful, you're doing a Baaghi. For me also, it's a completely technically a new genre because I've been doing a lot of comedies back to back. But Baaghi 4 is
Mhm.
an interesting genre to be a part of, and I'm loving every bit of it.
And as we come to Houseful 5, we got to see some glimpses of it, like the cruise shoot and the fun y'all were having. I also got to hear that y'all were also facing some health concerns because it was a sea shoot completely, the ocean shoot. So how was that for you?
No, that was very interesting. In fact, all of us had a great time there. Yes, there were a couple of days when the sea got a little choppy, and all of us were a little worried, and we kept moving from one place to the other.
Uh,
Some of us got a little seasick, but otherwise I think we had a great time. One of my best times that I've had on a shoot was on the
mm,
cruise, and obviously with a cast like that, you can expect only entertainment. The way the story is, and the way, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Akshay Kumar. And he keeps saying this, तू हर चीज में हंसता रहता है, बट वो इंसान चीजें ही कुछ ऐसी करता रहता है कि आप हंसे बिना रहा नहीं जाता. So I think
Mm.
it's a mad entertainer, and so is the Welcome to the Jungle, because, and full marks to the directors, Ahmed Khan and Tarun Mansukhani. I think to
Mm.
handle this huge a cast, and
Mm.
with everyone coming up with some suggestions and improvisations, and yet stay calm, stay focused, stay disciplined, and get the work that you want is
Mm.
quite a task and quite a big one for that.
In fact, Welcome 3, itself gets people excited because how Welcome 1 was, Till date, I
Yeah,
can just go and just go on the theaters and like go and like watch on OTT because of the humor.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
Shreyas,
yeah.
for you, it also, is, you have inspired people with your humor. We got to see your other side after Iqbal was when we got to see your humorous side. How
Yeah.
difficult is it also for you to make people laugh because you have a very different kind of humor to your jokes also to connect with the audience?
Yeah, no, I, uh, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing comedy. In
Mm.
fact, before doing Iqbal, I used to do a lot of theater, and most of it used to be comedy.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a point where I was so bad at comedy that my directors would tell me that it's better that either you quit or you don't do comedy at all. You're that bad. So I put
Yeah.
in a lot of effort into it, and then there came a point where I started understanding the little nuances. I started understanding the timing that was required for it, and that's when I started
Yeah.
enjoying it more, because once your punch lands properly, once people
Yeah.
laugh on that, is when you get it. Okay, now I got what it takes. In. So I started enjoying it, and then in every film of mine, I would try and put some humor some way or the other. Of course, sometimes
Mm.
it works, sometimes it doesn't. But then films like Golmaal Returns happened, and then Golmaal 3 happened, and then Paying Guest,
Mm.
Houseful 2, one comedy after the other. But personally, if you ask me, I enjoyed. In fact, you'll see some humor in Baaghi 4 as well, because
Mm.
that is something which is very integral to me. And when I'm on set, when I read a scene, there is some comic element that automatically comes to your mind. And then of course, you
Mm.
go and ask the director, is it okay if I try it? And most of the time they say yes. So yeah, it has been pretty good in that respect. But I'll tell you,
Mm.
there are also times when you want a film like Emergency, you want a film
Yeah.
like Iqbal, because then that will offset the excess comedy that you're trying to do. And then that will keep you
Mm.
fresh, do some more comedy in a better manner.
And now that Emergency is finally releasing, finally it will be in the theaters, with whatever it faced, in the past. Now the
Yeah.
film is all set to release. How excited are you
Yeah.
for this one? Because again, the role what you're playing is a portrayal of someone we look up to over the years, according to, of course, it's the country's love for the kind of, politicians we have looked up to who have completely shaped. So how it was for you?
No, it's a huge responsibility. Until the time it doesn't release, people don't see it and give their feedback, I will have butterflies in my stomach. So, yes, I'm very happy that finally there's a release date. Finally, it will see the light of day. And a film like Emergency has to release, for the way it is being made, for the portrayal of Indira Ji by Kangana Ranaut. She is fabulous. In the first 2 minutes, you forget the fact that that is Kangana Ranaut, and you start feeling that, okay, Indira Ji is right there on screen performing this part herself. So I think she is that good. The film that she has made is truly world class. That is the kind of film that she has made. So I think the film deserves to release in theaters on a scale, and it deserves more and more people to come and see it. So yes, I'm very excited about that one. As far as playing Atalji is concerned, very scared, because, like you very rightly said, is one of those leaders who's globally loved and revered. We've
Yes.
all looked up to him, we've all idolized him, we've all loved him. So when I got this opportunity, it was a huge thing for me. It still is. And I just hope that whatever effort that I've put there, I hope it turns out good and people like it. If they like it, full marks to Kangana Ranaut for that, because I think the kind of homework that she has done, um, and the clarity that she had about every character, none of us had.
Hmm. And before I let you go, of course, Pushpa 3 announcement was made, which is again
Yeah.
6 years later. Shreyas, can you try and get the movie like much before then? 6 years is a long wait. We don't know where we are going to be in the
it's,
next like 1 hour.
it's
I mean, I must say
yeah.
that.
It's going to be too long a wait, I guess. I'm equally. I mean, I have the exact equal amount of information as you have about it. Maybe you have a little more than me. But this is something that I really look forward to. I enjoy doing this, especially a character like Pushpa. I don't know when and whether I'll be able to portray a character like this myself on screen, but till that
Hmm.
time, I think Pushpa will fulfill all my hidden desires about playing some part like that on screen. So I'm also looking forward to it, and I also genuinely feel that 6 years is too long a time. They need to come a little earlier than that.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. And before I let you go, I have to make you say the important dialogue of the movie, the Jhukega Nahi Saala wala, in your style. I'm sure. Of course, yeah. I mean, people love
Eh,
that. Shreyas.
so probably this is for the
Hmm.
Pushpa producers. जो मेरे हक का पैसा है, फिर वो 4 आना हो या 8 आना, पुष्पा का उसूल करने का वसूल, मैं
Wow.
हरगिज झुकेगा नहीं साला.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Shreyas, for a lovely time. I loved the interview and definitely I loved your voice. I may go and watch it again just for your voice, I must say that, and for the storyline. But thank you so much for a lovely time. Looking forward to see more of your work, more of comedy, and also your serious side. Thank you so much for a lovely time. And before
Thank
I
you,
let
lovely.
you go, hi. Before I let you go, hi, this is Shreyas Talpade, and you're watching me exclusively on Zoom.
Hi, this is Shreyas Talpade, and you're watching me exclusively on Zoom.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shreyas. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye bye.